Hey, how's it going everyone? It's me, it's Jinsula, and welcome to today's Pokemon Go discussion video. So, we got ourselves the dates for the next couple of community days, as well as a community day classic, and I kinda wanted to speculate what these community day spotlighted Pokemon are going to be, especially for that community day classic, because I do think there's a couple of fan favorites that players have been hoping for, but I really think it's going to be one particular Pokemon. I'm going to be talking about all of this in today's video, so let's roll the intro and get right into it. Alrighty, so Niantic announced the dates for the next few community days, as well as the date for the next community day classic. Now, this has sparked a lot of discussion online regarding what the next community day spotlighted Pokemon are going to be, and I do think that there are a couple of Pokemon that could possibly be these community days, as well as what the community day classic is going to be. And I know there's players out there who will not want to hear this, but I really think there's going to be at least one PvP-centric community day in this period, mainly because we are going to be seeing a meta shakeup really soon here. Now that the World Championship Series has ended, I do think Niantic is going to do a move shakeup, and with that, there's definitely going to be a shift in the meta. I think because of that, Niantic is likely going to want to get new Pokemon into the mix, and one of the best ways to do that is to introduce a community day move that is going to shake up the meta. We already saw this earlier in the year with Walrein, so I suspect Niantic is going to do it again. Whether or not you believe it's to the detriment of this game, a lot of the last couple of community days have been PvP centric, and I do think Niantic is going to continue that trend. It would most certainly be in the best interest of battlers if they were to add new Pokemon that are viable for PvP, especially because that's going to keep the gameplay fresh and it's going to cause players to be on their toes. So let's talk about what these upcoming community days could potentially be. First and foremost, I do not think we're going to be getting any Pseudo Legendaries, mainly because we already had one this year, and it was Dino. There's also not a whole lot of Pseudo Legendaries left. I mean, we have Axew, which just had its shiny debut into Pokemon Go, we have Jangmo-O, and Gumi. Out of these three, I really can't see Niantic introducing any of them as a community day Pokemon, at least for the time being. But I do think that there is a strong possibility they could bring back a previous Pseudo Legendary with a brand new community day move. The specific one that I can think of is of course Beldum, because it evolves into Metagross, and there is a lot of possibilities where they could introduce some sort of new move that could make it even more viable for the Master League and for raid battles. Especially because anytime now, we may get the Mega Evolution for this Pokemon, and it would be really cool if they gave it new moves, kinda like what they did in the past with Pokemon like Charizard and Altaria. But if we're not getting any Pseudo Legendaries, there is at least a high possibility that we could get Litwick. I think this would be the perfect Pokemon for the October Community Day, mainly because it will be during the Halloween season. So it would just make sense, and it would be a really cool time for them to introduce this shiny, especially because it would just increase the hype behind the Halloween season to begin with. And it's also a shiny that a lot of players have been looking forward to, and a lot of players have been asking for this Pokemon in a future community day. So this would be a really great time to earn some brownie points from the Pokemon Go community by having this as one of the upcoming community days. Now, another possible community day, which I think actually comes out of left field, is a repeat of Cyndaquil. And the reason why I say that is because they could introduce Hisuian Typhlosion through this community day, and it would essentially not be a community day classic, mainly because you will be getting yourself a brand new Pokemon through this event. But if we don't get Cyndaquil, there is a high chance that we will get a starter Pokemon of some kind. There's quite a few that haven't had a community day yet, and I do think it's about time that we do get a starter for a community day, because we've been lacking in those for the past several ones. I believe the next one up is going to be Chespin, so if Niantic does end up going with a starter, we will likely see Chespin as the community day Pokemon in one of the next upcoming ones. And then finally, there is a chance that we could get Agron as a possible community day. The reason why I say this is because this Pokemon does evolve into Agron, and Agron does have a Mega Evolution, so this could be a great way to prep for that. And just like most other community days, Agron has 2 evolutionary stages, so I do think that the formula is there for this to be a potential community day Pokemon. I don't know how the Pokemon Go community will react to that, mainly because Agron has been one of those Pokemon that has essentially been a meme within the Pokemon Go community. But if they were to introduce a very powerful community day move with this Pokemon, it could potentially see some uses in the raid battles as well as the Master League. It will unfortunately be a hard sell to the Pokemon Go community, however, so if Niantic does end up going with Agron, hopefully the community day move is going to be something that's actually good. Alright, next let's move on to what the Community Day Classic could potentially be, because I do think there's a lot of players who are looking for Pokemon like Dratini or Beldum to get a Classic Community Day, but I actually think it's going to be Torchic. Now, the reason why I say it could be Torchic is because Niantic seems to be going with starter Pokemon for Community Day Classics, especially those that have a Mega Evolution in the future. Both Venusaur and Swampert have Mega Evolutions, and Torchic is another Pokemon with a Mega Evolution. Thus, in my opinion, I really think Torchic could be the next Community Day Classic, but I could be completely wrong here. It could potentially be another starter, or it could be one of the Pokemon that players have been asking for. I would really like to see Dratini return for a Community Day Classic, but we'll just have to wait and see. I really do think Niantic is kind of revealing their hands here, so I do think it's safe to assume that we are going to get a fire starter Pokemon. So yeah, these are just my speculative thoughts regarding what the next community days could potentially be. I'm excited for it regardless because I do think we're going to get at least one really exciting community day out of all of these, and I do think the Community Day Classic is going to be something that a lot of players have been asking for. In spite of all of the ups and downs this year, I do think Niantic is on a bit of a roll when it comes to community days. They've been doing the best they can to make the experience a lot better than it was in previous years, and I'm looking forward to some of the more improvements that they might do for these next couple of community days. And I also have to mention that there are going to be non-community day events that are going to be happening, like 2 in September that could potentially be either a raid day or a research day. Those are, of course, always really exciting, so I'm really hoping that Niantic has something great in store. But in any case, yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Definitely share your thoughts regarding what you think the next community days are going to be in the comment section below, and let's have a great discussion. I'm really hoping that Niantic knocks it out of the park, because I do think the community is looking for some really exciting community day Pokemon, and I really do think Niantic has the potential to deliver. But yeah, that's all going to depend on how much feedback we provide them. So let's have a great discussion, and let's make sure we keep it civil. And if you ended up enjoying this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here, and don't forget that little bell so you stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. And I want to give a quick shout out to my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support my channel in any way, then do consider checking out the links in the description below. But in any case, yeah, that's going to be it. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch you all later.